You wake up already tired, not from sleep, but from the thought of pretending. The day has not begun, yet the mask waits for you. You know which smile to put on, which tone of voice to use, which parts of yourself to hide. This routine has become second nature. People call you strong. You have no idea what it costs. The mask feels protective. It shields you from questions, from judgment. But protection has a price. It drains your energy, distances you from yourself. Each conversation feels like performance, each laugh rehearsed, each answer a small act of survival. And yet, no one notices. They see only the version you've built. A version polished enough to pass. The exhaustion grows silently. It does not show in the mask, but your body knows. The heaviness sits in your chest. It lingers in your bones. It whispers at night when the mask is finally off. You tell yourself it's easier this way. Easier than explaining, easier than risking misunderstanding. But easy is not the same as light, and this mask is anything but light. It is heavy with silence, heavy with unspoken truths, heavy with unmet needs, heavy with loneliness. You may think no one else feels this, that you are the only one hiding. But many live behind masks too. A mask of cheerfulness, a mask of productivity, a mask of strength. Each one looks different. Each one weighs the same. It's too much. The mask numbs you. It keeps you from your real feelings. It teaches you to mistrust your own truth. The longer you wear it, the harder it is to remove. You forget what your face looks like underneath. You forget what it feels like to breathe freely. Pretending to be okay rewires your mind.
Ow.
It convinces you that your needs don't matter. It convinces you that being seen is unsafe. But every part of you longs to be seen. Every part of you longs to rest. Every part of you longs to exist without armor. The mask also separates you from others. They connect to the version you perform, not the self you keep hidden. This breeds quiet isolation. You are surrounded yet unseen, accompanied yet lonely. Loneliness inside, connection feels sharp. It deepens the exhaustion. It leaves you wondering if closeness is even possible. The truth is, masks keep relationships shallow. They keep vulnerability locked away. They keep intimacy at a distance. You may think you're protecting others from your pain, but what you're really protecting is their comfort, sacrificing your own truth. The cost builds over time. Your body starts to ache. Your spirit grows weary. Even joy feels muted. Because joy can't reach through layers of pretending. It needs openness to breathe. The mask becomes not just exhausting, it becomes suffocating. And still, you wear it. Because you were taught it was safer this way. Because you learned people only accept certain versions of you. Because taking it off feels terrifying. Yet deep inside, you know. A life lived entirely behind a mask is not living. It is enduring. Enduring is not the same as thriving. It is not the same as belonging. It is not the same as peace. So you wonder, how long can I keep this up? How long before the mask cracks? How long before the exhaustion swallows me? These questions are not weakness. They are signals of truth breaking through. They are signs your heart wants more than survival, more than pretending, more than carrying a mask too heavy to bear. You carry the mask into daily life, into work, into friendships, into family. It becomes the language you speak. You smile when you are hurting. You say, "I'm fine," when you are not. You laugh so no one asks questions. These habits feel automatic now. You barely notice them, yet your body always notices. The weight is subtle but steady, shoulders tense, breath shallow. Pretending takes energy. It drains what little you have, and still you push through. You tell yourself this is strength, that keeping it together is noble, but inside you know it is survival. Survival is necessary, but it is not the same as living. Survival keeps you small. Some days the mask feels glued on. You cannot imagine removing it. You fear what people would see. Other days, the mask slips, let out a sigh too heavy. A crack appears in your performance. Sometimes someone notices, they ask, "Are you okay?" And you rush to patch the mask back on. Vulnerability feels dangerous. It feels like exposure. It feels like risk. Yet risk is also where truth lives. Without risk, connection stays shallow. Without risk, you remain hidden. Living with the mask means living with distance. Distance from others. Distance from yourself. But slowly, you can begin to loosen it. Not all at once. Not everywhere. Start where it feels safest. Someone who has earned your trust. With a moment small enough to hold, instead of saying I'm fine, say it's been hard. Instead of forcing a smile, let silence remain. Instead of covering sadness, let your eyes show it. These small acts matter. They chip away at the illusion. They remind you of your humanity. At first it feels unbearable. The vulnerability burns. You fear rejection. Sometimes people disappoint you. They don't know how to respond. They turn away. This hurts, but it does not mean you were wrong to try. It means not everyone can hold your truth, and that is not your fault. Your truth is not too much. Their capacity is too small. Other times someone surprises you. They stay. They listen. They don't demand you fix yourself. They don't rush your words. They make space. In those moments, the mask loosens. You feel lighter. You feel seen. Even a single safe interaction begins to shift you. It teaches you the mask is not your only option. It plants a seed of trust. Trust that you are not unlovable. Trust that authenticity has a place. Trust that rest from pretending is possible. Living with the mask doesn't mean you must wear it forever. It means you've learned a way to cope, and coping is not shameful. Coping is a skill, a survival instinct. But survival is not the final destination. Healing begins when you question the mask. When you notice the ache it causes. When you dare to wonder if life could feel different. The answer is yes. Life can feel lighter. Life can feel honest. It begins in moments. A sigh unhidden, a truth whispered. Slowly you learn to carry less, to remove the mask in safe spaces, to let your real face breathe. This is not weakness. This is courage. This is the first step toward freedom. Imagine a day when you do not reach for the mask. Your first breath feels different. It is not performance, only presence. You move through the morning slower. Your body is less tense. You do not have to act. This is what freedom tastes like. Small, quiet, but undeniable. A whisper of relief. You are not fully unmasked everywhere, but you are choosing moments, and those moments expand. Each time you risk authenticity, you practice courage. Each time you are met with kindness, you grow safer. Each time you rest without pretending, you reclaim energy.
Leave.
The exhaustion begins to lift. Not overnight, but gradually. You notice more space inside yourself. Space to feel. Space to breathe.
Ow.
Without the mask, you meet your own emotions directly. Sadness no longer has to be hidden. Joy no longer has to be trimmed down. Anger can exist without shame. Tenderness can exist without fear. Everything belongs. You begin to trust yourself again. Trust that you can hold your feelings. Trust that you don't need to disguise them to be worthy. Trust grows slowly, but it grows steady. Like roots under the surface, as trust deepens, relationships shift. You attract those who welcome your truth. You drift from those who demand performance. This is not loss, but clarity. You see who values you for your mask, and who values you for yourself. Belonging becomes simpler. You no longer chase approval, you choose honesty. Honesty draws people closer. It allows real intimacy. It allows depth. Without the mask, connection changes shape. It is less about impressing, more about being. You laugh when laughter rises. You cry when tears come. You don't need to edit yourself. The mask once kept you safe, but it also kept you small. Now you are expanding into authenticity, expanding into relationships that nourish, expanding into freedom. This freedom feels fragile at times. You fear losing it. You fear being judged. But freedom is not the absence of fear. It is the choice to live anyway. To live real, even if messy. You notice your body softening, less tension in your jaw, more ease in your breath. Your body remembers the cost of pretending. Now it learns the rhythm of release, learns the peace of truth. Living unmasked is not about total exposure. It is about choice, choosing when to rest the performance. Some spaces remain unsafe. In those, you protect yourself. That is wisdom, not weakness. But more often, you choose openness. You let yourself be seen, and you realize the world does not collapse. In fact, the world softens. People respect honesty more than perfection. They feel closer to your humanity. You begin to model something new. You show others that it is safe to remove their masks too. One act of authenticity inspires another. The weight you carried becomes lighter. The exhaustion fades. The pretending no longer rules you. Instead, you live aligned. What you feel matches what you show. What you carry matches what others see. This alignment is freedom. This freedom is peace. This peace is yours. You do not need to earn it. You do not need to prove it. You only need to keep choosing it. Each day, one choice at a time. Each moment, one breath at a time. This is how you learn to live unmasked. This is quiet philosophy, where thinking isn't loud, and life doesn't need to be either. Subscribe if you haven't already, not for noise, but for something you can actually feel.